All right. Good evening, Bel Air Little League. We're going to get started here shortly. I think this is going to work out well. I'm so excited that you guys are here, and we'll get going here in a second. Sure, it's over here. All right. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm Sam Dagley. I get to serve as your Little League president. That's good evening. It's formal wear time, I think. So it's 7 o'clock here on a Thursday. I'm so glad you guys joined us. Tonight's a lot of fun. We're going to share some information, open it up for questions for you guys. I am really excited about this season. I think we're going to have an absolute blast this year. With a whole lot of cool things going on, a whole lot of things to build community, which is really what we're hoping to do here. So a couple of slides, a couple of options. A link was sent out earlier. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, shoot us a note. We're happy to address it, happy to answer it. And I think it's going to just be a good time to get to know each other a little better, talk a little bit about our league, what we're hoping to accomplish in 2023, and really the opportunities that we have for you parents to get involved. And I know it's PowerPoint. I know PowerPoint can be brutal, but I appreciate you guys kind of hanging with us. So, and if we have any technical difficulties, I apologize as well. But this is our 70th year, and I am thrilled about that. So we've been from the Bel Air Optimists, starting Bel Air Little League in 1953 and getting our charter. We've been continuously playing baseball in this city for 70 years, and that's really awesome. We're going to have kind of a big celebration of that this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got our cool logo that we're set up here, and we're really going to celebrate that starting now through opening day to the rest of the season. It's really amazing to do anything for 70 years, and I'm immensely excited about that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to really have an opportunity to get to know each other a lot better, have a great time on the field, and I'm just thrilled that we get to be here for the last 70 years. And so with that note, I want to just throw it back really, really quickly here to 1953. So in 1953, when the league was founded here, there's an article. I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not, but what's pretty amazing about it is it was captured and there were 4 teams. You see the East Side, the Bengals, Southdale, and Brayburns. These were the teams that existed when Bel Air Little League was first founded. This is an article from 1953. And hopefully you can see it. I think my favorite part about what I saw here is Jim Johnson, the son of Bengal manager Salty Johnson, upset his father's apple cart in the 5th. So we've obviously come a long way in 70 years, guys. But the mission really hasn't changed a whole lot. Our mission is to kind of use baseball and the game of baseball to be competitive, to have fun, to grow our community. And to get to know each other better, to grow good, young men and women, and have that opportunity to get together and to play a fun sport, to grow a little bit, and to see what happens. We've obviously come a long way from 4 teams. I think this year we're a little over 551 kids. It's the largest season we've ever had, but I'm excited to be a part of it and excited to have you guys here as parents. We'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do this evening. We want to get through a bunch of things. We're going to try to do this as quickly as possible and as effectively as possible, and also answer any questions that you guys have. Again, if you want to go through that form, ask a question, we're happy to address those at the end as we'll open it up and go through this. So, tonight we're going to hit the things that are coming up here on the screen in a second. Basically, want to talk about some big exciting news, some recent updates we have. The big events that we have planned for the year, our uniforms, our concessions, a big surprise with a big change with another level coming after our American League soon. How you guys can get involved and sponsor some of the communication stuff that you'll be involved in. We're actually not going to talk about pitch count. I messed that up. Safety and equipment with Evan and some of the other things that we'll get through here. So don't want to keep you guys any longer than possible, but definitely want to make sure it's a time that's valuable for you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. But first, let me say I am so thankful that you guys have chosen to put your young men and women into Little League. We're excited about it. We're excited about the season. I think we just have a really fun things planned, and really just think that 2023 is going to be an amazing year to celebrate our 70 years. This entire thing doesn't really happen by itself. There's a lot of committed people, from volunteers and everything else. But we've got some amazing board members that make everything tick. From in the off season, fixing things in the buildings, fixing anything that breaks, the netting, from setting up concessions to getting the fields in order, to getting the schedule done, to making sure that things like parent orientation happen, to getting kids registered. It really does take an army, and this team of board members works honestly tirelessly to make this happen. We're all volunteers. Everyone that you see on the screen here is choosing to do their role out of a love for their kids, their community, their friends, and their family. And it's really cool to be a part of this group. An amazing group of individuals. If you ever want to identify them, we wear the black hats around, but it really does take an army. And then really outside of that, the spouses, the friends, the family, everything else that contributes to making us just an amazing league is fun to watch. So very thankful for your 2022-2023 board. This is their roles. If you have any questions about anything, you're always welcome to reach out to them individually and just sort of see what they're doing. If something you have an idea, anything to change, any suggestions or comments, this is your board. You can also find this information on the website. And you can get that from there. So again, these guys give so much time, really doing some big things to make this what I believe is the best little league in America. So the big news of the year, you guys have probably seen the construction on Jessamine, or what we used to call Jessamine, but that's going to be turf. That's going to be what I choose to call the most beautiful little league field in America. But from now on, we will not be calling it Jessamine. That's going to be Weston Field. So the Weston family kind of generously spearheaded this vision, along with a lot of other families in the Little League. So the rainouts and everything like that, those are hopefully days of the past. But that awesome, beautiful field with that giant B, the improvements you're seeing over there, new concrete is actually going in around the edge of the building. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be just an amazing place to play baseball. And the Weston family just went above and beyond, as well as a lot of other families, to make this kind of vision and dream a reality. So thankful that it's here. It's going to be amazing to see. It's going to be amazing for our young men and women to play baseball on that field, really reduce the amount of rainouts. And I think it's going to give us a lot of opportunities to do a lot of fun things. So at the corner of 5th and Jessamine, that's now Weston Field, or Wessamine, as we started calling it here on the board. But just an amazing experience. So we'll be live. We'll be having opening day there. I'm excited that you guys will all get to see it. We've been watching it grow, both through the positives and the pain and everything, but it really is going to be an incredible field. For those that don't know, it's fully turfed. The outfield is turf. The infield is turf. We're making a bunch of other improvements, but really it's Mike's baby. And again, for those that don't know, Mike was the president of the league for the past 4 years before I took on, did a phenomenal job, led just a ton of improvements here, and made it a lot easier to take on this role. So super thankful that we have this. I cannot wait for everyone to see this. For the older kids, new fence at Tyrus. Again, our older divisions, really awesome pine fence. It's green. The names of those that made it possible are going to go up this week. And our goal as a board is not only to support the community in this, but to continue improvements to make it a better experience through baseball that we can. And we're so thankful to the parents that make it happen, to the board members that are making it happen. It's just, we've got a lot of changes that are coming down the pipe. And I'll take this opportunity to say, are we ever going to hit 1,000%? We're not. We're going to make mistakes. Things will come up. We're open for feedback. But our kind of motto for the year is a Mark Twain quote that continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. So we just want to keep moving that ball forward, and super excited about getting out there, seeing all the things that we're going to be able to do and play ball in these amazing facilities that fortunately the boards before us set up, and that we get the privilege of continuing. So It's going to be an amazing time. Moving into like what's coming up, 2023 is just going to be a big year, guys. The biggest thing I think that we start off with is opening day. Opening day is quickly becoming my favorite day of the year. And I don't just mean baseball day. I mean, it's like, wedding anniversary and kids' birthdays and opening day. It's a full day event. It's going to be incredible. Liz Rich has put this together for us, and she took it from a really fun day. It was really interesting and really cool and great to just a community oriented, big time event. So let me give you a little feel. And the reason I want to do that, I want you to block your calendars because I want you all out there on March 4th. This is just a huge day of a celebration. And let me tell you what's going on. So we all get out there early. 9 a.m. we kind of kick off the festivities. We introduce the teams. We're doing it on this brand new, beautiful turf field, right? Kids are going to run through the Cardinal. It's a big inflatable Cardinal from Little League. We're going to have vendors out there. We have tents. We've got a carnival. We've got free barbecue for everybody from Langford Grocery that's bringing that out there. You just come up, you grab something to eat. We'll have our concessions open. We have Kona Ice. We've got a cool thing where the fire trucks and the ambulance from Bel Air, the city of Bel Air, are going to be out there. It is just going to be an amazing spectacle. We're going to have the biggest time ever. And after all kind of the opening day stuff, we move into a couple of things. One, the mom's softball game, which is a Bel Air tradition. This year, we're adding the dad's kickball game, which I think is going to be amazing. And then we wrap everything up with the home run derby. The home run derby is for our 12-year-old players. They come out there with a special bat, a cork bat. I say cork, it's USSSA, it's a select ball bat. But here's my ask for anyone with a 12-year-old who is in Bel Air Little League. If you're 12, if you've never hit the ball past the pitcher's mound, if you've never hit the ball, please come out and do home run derby. My son did it a few years ago, my oldest son. It was a blast. This year, everyone's getting a baseball with a B on it, commemorating their participation in the home run derby. The champion gets an amazing WWE style belt, but it's really not about hitting the home runs. I mean, obviously that's what we're out there looking at. It's about community. It's about seeing these 12-year-olds. You will never see them get along better and have more fun than when they're out there on that field on our brand new Weston field, hitting those home runs. So please encourage your 12-year-olds to come out there. There's no sign up. You just show up, you bring your bat, you bring someone that wants to pitch you. It could be a coach, a dad, whatever you want. It's going to be cool. Also, and I guess I'm going to try to figure out how to switch screens here on the fly. So bear with me again. We're, we are a community league, so we'll have to figure out how this works. Let me see if I can do this real fast, guys. Whoops. I'm going to share myself for a second here and see if this works. We're playing with fire here, guys. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right. So let me share us here. All right. Let's see if I can do this. Share screen. Oh, no, I don't know what I did. How did I do this? Share screen. There we go. Oh, there you go. You guys can see us now. This is people to be talking, but we are going to be selling these t-shirts. I think they're pretty incredible. This is the back of it. It's got our logo on there. It's like the softest thing ever. And we got our logo on the front. So this is the only time you'll be able to get a chance to get them is when we're out at opening day. Make sure and get out and get one. I think it's going to be a cool way to commemorate it. We also have car stickers this year. Hopefully you guys can see that. Again, pretty cool. I've already got one on my water bottle. Pretty excited about it as we kind of get a chance to blend the league and grow the league and do things like that. Again, I'm not just saying it because I really mean it. I love our little league. I love the opening day experience. I think it's just one of a kind. So it's a huge thing. I think you guys are going to have a great time doing it. Get out there, stay all day with us. Let's really have a great time. Secondly, parents, we are doing a mom's coaching day. So the dads who typically coach, we do have some mom coaches this year, which is phenomenal. But for a couple of games, we're just going to kind of toss the dads out and we're going to bring the moms in. It can be any mom. It doesn't have to be the coach's wife or the coach's kid's parent, but any mom that wants to coach. We're bringing you guys in there. We're doing it for a bit of a breast cancer awareness. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. It was a really great idea, I think, from one of our board members. So we're going to be doing that this year. Let's see. Y'all actually see me? What are we looking at here? Oh, just looking at me. Oh, sure. 1 second, I apologize. Yeah. Okay. So the mom's coaching, I think, is just going to be a really fun day. So that'll be the week of March 20th. Jeff Peskin, who's done our schedules, has got it all set up. I think it's going to be a really fun, just kind of change of pace for us. So a really great opportunity to get out there and do that. Reckling Park Day. So Reckling Park is where Rice plays baseball. We have been given the opportunity to go play a series of games out there. So our American League group is going to get out there for April 2nd. We're going to be doing a tailgating. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be enjoying the festivities all day of 5 sets of games. So really excited about that. It's open to the entire BLL Little League family. Yes, our 11 and 12-year-old kids will be out there playing. But if you're interested in BLL Little League, you want to see some fun baseball, we're resizing the field. It's going to be an incredible day. We'll have barbecue and brisket and all sorts of fun things when we get out there, and we get the whole park. So the kids will have walk-up music. There'll be an opportunity to put their faces on the big screen. They're gonna hit and warm up in the actual Rice batting cages. It really is going to be just an incredible experience for these young men and women, and we're excited about doing it. So that'll be April 2nd. One of my second favorite days in BLL Little League is the gala. For those that were around for a while, the gala kind of used to be this, stodgy event, and Amy Quinn has just taken it on and really rocked it. It's now like this really fun thing. We go to a local location here at Betsy's. We're going back to crawfish this year, but it's not just crawfish. There's burgers and salads and fries and all sorts of good stuff. So there's a little something for everybody. It's a great opportunity we do an auction. We do a live auction. We raise funds for the league. So mark your calendar. Tickets will be up on the website soon if you didn't buy them from opening day. We're hoping to get to 300 people this year. I think we're actually being fairly close. So make sure you mark your calendars, get out there. And this year, and you heard it here, maybe first, maybe second, we're having an after party. So there will be an official after party, most likely at our favorite spot, Little Woodrow's. So crawfish boil gala will go to about 11, and then we'll all wander over to Little Woodrow's and kind of party over there. Last but not least is All-Star Day. Kids vote, parents vote. You put kids on these rosters and 10, 15 kids aside, and we take over Weston Field, and we basically just all day play baseball. It's a lot of fun. We bring out the grill. We grill all day. We have the concessions open. It's really just a great culmination to our Little League season. Again, we start, I think, at the 7-year-olds all the way up to the 12-year-olds. It's some really good baseball. It's a lot of fun to see. And this year, obviously, on our new field, it's going to be something you want to come out for. So highly encourage you guys, mark your calendars for these dates so that you can get out there. We just really encourage participation. I do also want to mention, if you're a younger member of our community, if you're a younger member of BLL Little League, come to the gala, come to opening day, come to the All-Star Day, really just kind of come out and see what we're about as a league. We really value that kind of stuff, and don't feel like you have to know everyone. We're all pretty friendly people. And so I think it's going to be a great year with all these cool events that we're doing. All right. So our uniforms, we do a lot on the uniform front. We've got some really cool things that I think we just have really nice jerseys. I think we do a good job with that. And by we, I mean Liz Rich. Liz has just done a phenomenal job. Not only does she do opening day, she does the jersey, she does the rings. She may be the de facto ruler of this league. She really does everything. She's a phenomenal resource for us. But the jerseys are awesome. You get a certain set of gear in the jerseys. You're going to get the sponsors' names on the back. You get your team jersey. You get a hat. A lot of people love to put something on the back of the hat. Bel Air Uniform Shop does a phenomenal job quickly doing that. So you take your hats over there. My oldest is named Benjamin. He's going to get Benja on the back of his hat. My little girl who's playing rookie ball where I'm the coach is Hannah. We'll get Hannah on the back of the hat. We kind of do all those things. Bel Air Uniforms turns this around really, really quickly. So highly recommend using them. I think they've really done a nice job getting it fixed up. We are going to be getting some pink wristbands, some pink gear for the Mom's Day again, and as we support the breast cancer awareness. So far, as we're sitting here having this meeting, you guys should have your practice jersey and your hat. That's got the 70-year logo. You've got your hat, so you can take it off wherever. The actual jerseys are coming soon. And when we get the actual jerseys, we'll get the assistant coaches hats. They look like this. They're red. They're very good looking. They've got the B on it, but we'll get those. Also, for those that are interested, this year we did something a little different. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's got our sticker, it's got our years, and it's got this kind of blank space here. You know, especially when they're younger, a lot of our kids look very similar when they put on the uniform. And so we wanted a way to identify them on the field. So if you put this on their helmet, you can put a Sharpie on there, put their name on it, nice and neat. And that way the coaches can identify who they are, the parents can identify who they are, and hopefully they'll lose fewer helmets and that kind of stuff. That's really the goal here. We'll love to take credit for the idea. Elon Levy kind of came up with it, and we were able to execute his vision. But you know, put it on the back of the helmet. That way we can know their names, we know who they are. You know, it can be, you know, something fun that we all do. So again, don't feel like you have to. If you're an older kid, I understand it might not be cool, but something we're definitely want to do this year. The last thing I'll mention is the reimbursements. It turns out that we're all not the same size in this league. So one of the things that we wanted to do is look at the coaches and say, hey, if you want to get your own jerseys for your team, for your coaches, if you 3 or 4 want to wear X, Y, and Z, and go buy something that's different, or go put something on that's not just the same color as everyone else, or have a vision of that's something you want to do, we want to encourage that. So this year, we are saying giving $60 to every team. So if the coaches want to buy their own jerseys, buy their own uniforms, we're going to reimburse up to $60. So if you spend $80, we'll give you 60 back. It really only costs you $20. That way you can get what you want. So team parents, coaches, whoever you might be, take advantage of this. I know my rookie Royals are hopefully going to have some lovely design shirts, and I think it's going to be great. When you get the receipt, shoot that over to our treasurer, and we're going to go ahead and get that reimbursed for you. You still have your practice jerseys and everything else, but again, with all the time that these guys volunteer, with everything that they do, we want to make sure that we're rewarding them, giving them a cool thing to have and take away with them from the season. I want to stop again and say uniforms are not easy. Ordering for this many people is really challenging, especially with the supply chain issues. Special kudos and a shout out to Liz that's made this look easy when it's not. So again, always open for suggestions. Last thing I'll mention is your coaches are going to pick your pants. We used to try to buy pants for the league, and I don't want to say unmitigated disaster, but that's kind of what feels right. So your coach can pick a color. Most often we pick white or gray. But they'll tell you what they want you to buy. You go get a couple pairs. Dick's is a great partner of ours. We highly recommend going over there. We do discounts with us. They're very generous to our league. They donate a lot of stuff here. And now that they're local in Meyerland, it's really great to go. So highly recommend supporting those if you need pants. Any other uniform questions, don't hesitate to reach out to myself. And I'll just obviously forward your email to Liz, who is our uniform coordinator. So So a couple of years ago, for your newer parents and the older parents may remember, we used to outsource concessions. We would basically say to a local provider, hey, come in and do everything. And I grew up playing Little League, and one of my favorite experiences of playing Little League was going to the concession stand. I vividly remember my dad gave me $10 for dinner. And at the time, in the, I guess, early 90s, do you know how many Jolly Ranchers you could buy for $10? But I found out. I was also grounded for a week or two. But just going to the concession stand was such a big part of my baseball experience. I loved growing up that way. And we wanted to bring that back. So about a year and a half ago, myself and Amy Quinn just kind of took this back over and said, you know, our league is going to do concessions again. And honestly, it's one of the most fun things I think we do. It is a challenge. And so what we do is to keep it staffed. And what we decided to do a couple of years ago is if you have a kid that's 14 and older, we will pay them $10 an hour to work in our concession stand. There's a sign up genius. You can sign up on the website. You can see it right here under concession stand volunteers, and you're able to sign up, work your shift. You get paid. We pay you once a week. And we really want to encourage people to sign up. It's our way of being able to continue on with the community after you're out of Little League. We used to do volunteer, then pay. It's all just paid now. So if you're a 14-year-old, wants to work a little bit, wants to see a little bit of baseball, then they're allowed to do, come on in, come work for us. And really, it's a great time. I think we've seen, wonderful, wonderful service-oriented people come in and do this. My ask of you guys, because we pay these guys, $40, $50 a night, is, come to the concession stand, buy stuff, give us suggestions of what else we can do. This year, we're going to be rolling it out over the season, but grills are going to be on through various vendors. Langford Grocers, one of them. Friday nights, especially at Weston, we're going to have the grills on. Saturday, the grill's going to be on. They're going to take those proceeds. But, come get a drink, come have a hamburger, come watch some baseball. Really support those concession stands. Would mean a lot to us. We're also, after years and years and years of talking about it, guys, we have brought coffee and hot chocolate in. Angela, Shaw, and Mike and Trina have done a great job setting all this stuff up. But man, on the chilly days that we've had, obviously today is a great example. You can go up, you'll be able to get a hot cup of coffee, a hot chocolate, and enjoy that while you watch baseball. So really excited that this has come to fruition. We're always making changes on the concessions front. I really appreciate the feedback. If you guys want to see something, you want something else to drink, you think there's another item we can have on the menu. If you saw another Little League that's doing something that you think we should implement, we want to know about it. You can actually email us at concessions@belllleague.org. But get out there. When you're out there, bring the kids up to the park for dinner, have a hot dog. We'll have the grills on and that kind of stuff. But really, really thrilled and really amazed with what Angela and Mike and Trina have been able to do as they've taken the original idea and really grown it. So, like I said, get out there. If your teenager's interested, have them sign up. They can sign up on the website as well. And it's a great way just to help us out, to help the community, and really to be interactive with Bel Air Little League. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I'm going to get a hot coffee. All right. So here's kind of one of our other big announcements for the evening. For those that thought, my kid's 12, I'm done with Little League. All I want to do is play more Bel Air Little League. We are going to make that happen. So we are going to charter, starting in spring of 2024, a 13-14 division. We're working, honestly, on field space, and I think we've got a solution that is moving along the process that we can talk a little bit more about when the time is ready. But we're excited about continuing to play baseball. Someone once told me growing up, you either realize for yourself that your baseball career is done, or someone else tells you your baseball career is done. And 12 just feels too young. So, we're excited about providing more baseball, hopefully competitive baseball, fun baseball, the same Bel Air Little League kind of baseball that you guys have been used to for the last year since our kids were 4, all the way now through 14 until you hand them off to high school and see what happens. But David Ortiz said, I just want to play baseball. And that's really what we want to provide. We're here to provide those opportunities for young men and women that just want to play some baseball. So a lot of our kids right now they go to Westbury, they go to West U. It's coming next year. We will obviously be sending more information out about it. We're really, really optimistic and excited that we'll have a great field resource to play on that will be the proper measurements for kids of that age. But something to look forward to. We're going to begin the chartering process. But if you're interested, if you want to help out, if you'd like to know more about that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Or anyone on our board. Happy to talk about it. We've been talking about it at a lot of board meetings lately, but really excited that this is in our future. So hopefully starting in spring of next year, we're a league that lets young men and women who are 4 all the way up to 14 play baseball, have fun, learn the skill set and grow and develop as not only baseball players, but human beings. So keep an eye out for that. All right, here it is. Here's the money talk, guys. We're a sponsor-oriented league. We don't really generate income outside of we do the fees and everything else like that. And so your generosity is really what drives us to be able to do so many of the things that we're going to do, that we want to do. We've got a big vision for growth and changes and really positive changes that are coming up. And that really does take some of you guys setting up with sponsorships. I want to pause right now and just mention this. You guys are an incredibly generous league. We feel very fortunate that we are able to do so many of the things that we're able to do. But if you feel led, if you feel like you can, we always have sponsorships. We do signs in the outfield. We're looking always for more sponsorship opportunities. We love getting our gala items donated. Last year, one of our league parents donated their house, which is, I think, about to be used as the raffle prize in Crested Butte, which was amazing. And we take the dollars that you give over very seriously in terms of we want to make sure it gets reinvested into the children, the kids, not just now, but in the future. And that's really what we're laying the groundwork for. Cody Moore is your contact. Cody's done a great job of really building a sponsorship base. We have a ton of opportunities to sponsor, and we're always open to new ideas. I think when Cody took over the role, it was, we do outfield signs and we do the back of the jerseys. And Mike and Cody work together to now we've got our practice jerseys are sponsored. We've got opening day things that are sponsored. But if you have an idea, if you have a vision, if there's some way that that you feel that you can sponsor the league, we're always interested and would love to hear about that. Again, we just love having you guys out there. We love seeing the kids play baseball. We love being part of a 550 some odd kid little league. And the things that you do with your generosity and everything else, we just put towards more opportunities. So if you feel led, let us know. But thank you for everything you do, for signing up, for all that stuff. It's really a fantastic league. And again, cannot thank the parents on this call enough for the generosity that you guys have. All right, I am going to take a break, and I'm going to turn it over to Elon for a bit. Now I know you've heard my voice enough, but I'll turn it over to Elon that can talk through this and go through a little bit about how we communicate with the league and go from there. Elon?
Okay, I'm here, Sam. Can everybody hear me all right? Sam, it won't be a super long break. I only have a few minutes, but really most important, what we want to make sure everyone understands well and has a good feeling for is how we'll be communicating as a league this year, whether that means it's communication from us as your board members or more directly from the managers and the assistant coaches who are coaching your children. The website has always been that single main kind of hub where you can go and get information, and that remains the case this year. There have been some tweaks to the site, and there's a new site, but a lot of the information remains the same. There are rosters loaded up on the website, schedule information, all of the rules information for your leagues, information about equipment, and really important information for how you can volunteer and how you can go about reaching out to us to get that done. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more information on the website. We encourage you to browse through there. We also encourage you to visit the Little League International website and browse through there if you have questions about how Little League implements their vision and their rules, because that, of course, is information we're always looking to as we make decisions about how we can best run this league and how we can best benefit our children. Second, I think one of the things that we as a board talk about a lot is helping the kids feel like they are part of a really cool technological experience. It may seem like Little League compared to some other opportunities sort of lacks in technology, but at Bel Air Little League, one of the things we really want to make sure the kids can experience is the tech. And there's some really cool apps, there's some really cool websites out there that help them feel like they're keeping up with the statistics and just doing some of the things that in today's world they are used to, right? They're always on their iPads, they're always on laptops. So we want to make sure they've got that opportunity. So kind of down towards the bottom of this slide, you'll see Game Changer. Game Changer is a neat mobile app that is effectively a tool that helps us keep score during a game and keep track of statistics. We use it in both of our kid pitch leagues, American League for the 11 and 12-year-olds, National League for the 9s and the 10s. And so if your child is 9 through 12, the team that they are on will have a dedicated parent who is in charge of keeping score of each game. They don't do that in a book with a pencil like we're used to seeing when we grew up. You do it now on your phone, of course, on an app like we do everything else, it seems. So if you know how to keep score and you're good at that and you know the game of baseball well, don't be afraid to tell the manager on your team that you may be the right fit for that. I think we've all found that that's one of the things the kids really dig the most is being able to follow how their own, how the players on their own team is doing, what the stats are, but then also follow some of the other teams within their league. And internally, we've set it up so the kids can sort of more easily follow that this year. There's also a really cool tool on Game Changer that allows for either a manager or a parent or somebody who's involved to live stream the game, right? So if you've got family members or grandparents across town or out of state, they're going to be able to watch the game. As a league, we've invested in a GoPro camera that is going to be set up at either Weston Field or Tyrus. We'll kind of fight over that and draw straws to see which field's going to get that GoPro. But we're really going to make a push, especially as we get towards playoffs, some of the bigger games, to live stream those. And I think the kids are going to love it. And that really ties into something that as a league we've done for years, which is we've had field cameras up at 4 of our fields, and that's grown to 5. Right, so our 2 main kid pitch fields have them, and now all 3 fields at Horn Elementary, including the T-ball field, have cameras. If you've never accessed the links on the website, it's pretty easy to find. You just go to the homepage and click on the Parents and Coaches tab, and there are links for cameras for each field. Those feeds are brought to us through a website called Your Game Cam, but you don't need to access their website to find those links. All you have to do is go to the Bel-Air Little League website, click on the Parents and Coaches tab, and find the links that we've posted on our website to be able to make that happen. There's another really cool feature where you can actually go back into what is called the video vault and look for historical video footage from the day before or 2 days before. If there was a really great play in a game on a Tuesday night that you missed, if you just stay up until midnight, all the video from Tuesday downloads and you can watch the play that you missed because you were stuck at work or stuck at a dinner or whatever it is. So if you don't know about that, take the opportunity to ask some other parents on your team how that works. I think it's a really cool feature and part of the tech that we're trying to offer. Rain out alerts. If you haven't already signed up for those, please do. There's really 2 easy ways to make sure that you're in the know on what's happening with rain alerts. One, you can go to the website rainedout.net and you just basically type in Bel-Air Little League in the search field and you should be able to sign up to receive direct alerts. Or what I think is the easier option is you just grab your phone and you text Bel-Air Rain to 84483 and that will sign you up for direct text messages. Usually you can tell whether Sam or I are typing out the messages for the league. Sam's far wittier than I am, and mine are much more dry and direct, it seems. I think lastly, that takes us to TeamSnap. TeamSnap has survived. We've used it in the past. It's been a fabulous tool. As we rolled out a new website, there was some efforts made that I'm not proud to have been part of, but we tried to roll out a new app. I'm sure have seen some of the emails. TeamSnap has survived, and we're going to be using it again this year. And we're excited. We're excited that we're able to do that. It's seemingly a great opportunity for parents on each team to communicate with each other. I know I've managed now for years, both T-ball teams, rookie ball teams, pitching machine teams. And one of the most difficult things for managers and for coaches is to keep track of all the communications back and forth with parents. So I think the one thing that we as a board and what many of the managers in this league ask you is, can you please do your best to communicate with your managers in a way that's easy for them? And really using TeamSnap is the best way to do that. There's a messaging tool so that you can just go through the app, message directly. I found that's easier for me than sort of searching my email inbox for various emails, trying to track down whether or not Jimmy or Johnny is going to miss that game that night. There is also an RSVP tool, and the parents on my teams are probably sick and tired of me talking about it. But for the managers in this group, it's really important that your manager know whether or not your child's going to miss a practice or a game. Game more important than a practice, obviously, but managers do their best to prepare, make lineups, figure out defensive substitutions, and if at the last minute one or even two kids doesn't appear and the manager wasn't expecting that, it can be difficult on the fly for that manager to adjust. So please, make best efforts to communicate with your manager as best you can. Let them know what's going on. They're all a great bunch of volunteers who have signed up to coach Little League Baseball for the right reasons. So please don't hesitate to reach out to them, discuss schedules, and do all that using the TeamSnap app. I think that's it. I wish everyone luck. I'm going to pass it back to Sam. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at the fields and excited for a great season. Thanks, guys.
No, thanks, Elon. And guys, Elon spends a lot of time running around the fields, making a lot of this stuff work. So you'll see him out, you'll see him about and doing all sorts of different things out there. So doing a wonderful job as our VP of operations. I'm going to turn over to Evan now, who's going to talk about one of the most important things we have, which is our safety and the equipment we have to make sure that your young men and women are safe. Evan?
All right. Appreciate that, Sam. So I'm going to just take a few minutes to talk about player safety and equipment your kids will use this season. So, player safety for our board members and managers and everyone involved is utmost importance to the league. Just so you're all aware, all of our team managers are required to have CPR and AED certification. We'll also have first aid kits, ice packs, and AEDs at each of our fields. We want to make sure we are prepared for anything that may come up. Now, unfortunately, some injuries can't be avoided. It's kind of inevitable that things will happen with as many teams and kids as we have playing this season. So team managers, they know to provide me with any injury reports. And if you're informed that your child got injured during a game, just make sure you're communicating that with your team manager or myself, especially if it's something, head injuries or something that's a little more severe. We want to know what's going on. We want to make sure that they're taken care of and they come out okay on the other end. So, please make sure that you're communicating that. And our coaches and managers know as well, we need to be proactive. So, especially in our younger leagues, when they get a bat in their hand, a lot of times anything can happen. So we want to make sure they have their helmets on whenever they're swinging a bat, spaced out properly, know where to go when they're throwing the ball to each other and warming up, getting around the backside of the kids throwing and not in the middle. And, I'll admit, you still see 11 and 12-year-olds do that. So we want to make sure that, kids being smart about that, and parents, coaches, managers are all helping out, being involved. So on the equipment side, we try to make sure that we have, all the fields ready to go. All the managers will have catcher's gear from rookie league up. So that way, if a manager identifies your child as someone who may want to catch and they don't have any gear, don't worry about it. We do have team gear, and then you can see at that point if that's something you want to get for them in the future. But we do want to make sure that we have the proper protective equipment available for them. So we do have a list of what's required equipment for our Little League. Some of these items will just apply to specific age divisions. So everyone who's batting wears a helmet. We need to make sure that they all have full cages on their helmets. The only exceptions would be for our American League and National League players. So the 9 to 12-year-olds, they can wear a C-flap. So that's just that one piece that covers up their nose and mouth, so that way a ball can't get through there. But everyone else, please make sure that your helmet has a full cage on it as well. I know a lot of the helmets that are being sold, you may have to get the cages separately. I know some of the local stores may be sold out. I think typically Academy has some available. It's exporting goods as well if they get those back in stock. But I know a lot of people have been buying those up. So let's make sure that all the players have the proper helmets and the full cages if needed. For bats, in little leagues, they need to use a USA approved baseball bat. So that'll have a USA stamp on it. We cannot use any bats that that may say something like BB core on it or USSSA. Those are bats that are not allowed for little leagues. If you're not sure, you can go to a website. It's just usabat.com, and you can see a list of approved bats for the 22-23 Little League season. And if you have any questions, aside from myself, you can talk to any of your managers. We have a lot of people who have had their multiple kids go through the league and are aware of what bats are available. We want to make sure that they have the right bats to use, and your managers could probably also help to make sure that they're using the right bat size and length too. It could get pretty dangerous if they may not have the right bat in hand, but we want to make sure that they are using USDA approved baseball bats. Something we always need to remind the kids and the managers as well, for any catchers, they need to wear a protective cup. So if they're not sure they're catching, or you're not sure, make sure you talk to the managers, especially when it rolls around to the game times. We want to make sure everyone's ready to go, and we're not trying to get cups put in or taken out because they're uncomfortable mid-game. We want to keep the flow going, so let's make sure we talk to the managers about that to identify those players who will be catching. So that is for all catchers, but then also any defensive pitchers. So in our rookie and Texas leagues, if your son is going to play the pitcher defensive position, they're going to need a protective cup, and they're also going to wear their batting helmet at that time as well. We do want to make sure these kids stay safe. One of my biggest fears is the fact that we have a fast spinning tire wheel right out there in the middle of the field. And so those pitchers who are sometimes cutting right in front of those wheels, we want to make sure they have a helmet on for safety. Baseball gloves, some would say it's obvious for them to have a glove, but we want to make sure that the glove is good for the player. So if it is brand new, help them break those gloves in. We want to make sure that they can close them. So that way, if there's a hard hit ball coming towards them or a thrown ball, we want to make sure that they're able to stop it and protect themselves. So baseball gloves are going to be something that we would ask everyone to just make sure fits well on their players' hands, and they can get it broken in. If it's something that you're not comfortable with or familiar with, there are stores around. I know the Dick's Sporting Goods, it's in that Maryland Plaza. They have a steaming option where you can go there and pay some money and get the glove broken in for you, which is helpful. Baseball cleats. So these are rubber or molded cleats only. There are no metal spikes allowed in any of the leagues. We want to make sure that they have comfortable cleats to run in, on the clay, on those natural grass fields, especially if it gets a little wet out and we still play ball. We want to make sure they have good footing so they're not slipping all over the place. In our American National Leagues, as Sam mentioned, with one field it's going to be all turf, and then Tyrus Field is still turf on the infield, with a natural grass outfield. Turf shoes are a great option for those upper leagues as well. And then last, batting gloves. They're optional, but very common for the players. Just make sure there's comfort and they're, able to hold on to that bat and maybe reduce some of the sting on some mishits too. So last thing I have, Sam mentioned a great partnership we have with Dick's Sporting Goods. If you're in need of any equipment, we have up on the website, we got a coupon page from them, which is good year round. I know that 20% off that we had posted just expired, but we do have another coupon page which has, I think, 10% off or $10 off depending on what equipment you have. So if you are in need of equipment before the season really gets going, it's a great thing you can use as well. And that's it. That's all I have. So please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions throughout the season. My name and information's on the website, and the team managers all know how to get a hold of me as well. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Evan. All right, guys, we are almost to the end of this parents meeting. I know you guys have a lot of stuff to do. We'll talk a little bit about our facilities and camera. We've got these 6 fields that we use. If you're in Texas League or below, so Texas Rookie and T-Ball, you're going to be at our Horn facilities at Kendall, Fox, and G. As Elon mentioned, we've got cameras on all of them. They don't turn on until after the school day. A quick note on the cameras. I know sometimes they don't work. Just let us know. Sometimes we don't know they don't work. We have upgraded to a fiber optic cable at Horn, which should really help. But I know one of my favorite things is when, grandmommy is sitting up in Maine and can't see her little kid hit. I don't want to get that email. So just let us know, and we're happy to get it addressed. But all of our fields have cameras except for Bayland. Bayland is a practice only facility by and large. So everywhere else you see here, we'll be playing games on. Again, we are really making a lot of updates to the facilities. We want them to be a great experience for all of you guys. We have concessions at all the facilities except for Balin. And if people do want to watch, Elon mentioned it earlier, go to the website, you click on one of the links, and boom, you'll see the camera up there and ready to watch from the home plate view. We are working on ways to put some additional cameras out there because we would love to be able to bring the game to those that really can't make it out, that want to be a part of their, their family, their friends, their grandkids, whatever it might be, their lives. As soon as my parents figure out how to work the computer, I'm really excited about them using the cameras. So until that happens, they just keep driving into town. All right, guys, we're going to hit the meat of it, and then we're going to call this thing, we're going to call this show. But we have parent volunteer roles. I'm going to hit the last line first, right? These have to be filled out before we'll give your coach or your team parent the uniform, your uniform coordinator the uniforms. They're tiny little things. Uniform coordinator, picks up, distributes uniforms, might get the names on the hat. The team banner, always a super fun thing, but tons of places on the website. We've got contacts. We can send your coaches, and we will send the league reps contacts of where you can get a banner made. You put it up before the game. It's got the kids' names on it. It's got your logo. It's really a lot of fun. Your snacks coordinator, look, we give away free snow cones after the games. That's one of the big things we did when we took over concessions. Snow cones are, I think, the greatest treat on earth. And really, just for those who are doing laundry, we want to make it as challenging as possible to clean that uniform for the next game. But kids love the snacks, the Kool-Aid, whatever they're drinking after the game. So coordinating that stuff as well as pictures. All pictures are on opening day. Dan at Natural Expressions does a wonderful job, gets kids in and out. We're probably changing the actual location this year, so it's not a brick wall in the background, which we're excited about. But you'll get the forms, populate those, give them out to the parents, collect them. A pretty easy gig, and then you're done for the year. Gala coordinator, we'll ask every team for a basket. Amy Quinn will contact you about that. The baskets, we get some of the coolest ideas. Love what you guys bring to the table. I know we say game announcer is Texas AL and NL, but I know we started doing walk-up songs. For those that don't know, if you bring out, we've got speakers in the Horn and Kendall Fields. You can bring out a speaker. I bring my own for our rookie league stuff. I use a app called a Ballpark DJ. You load up the songs, you put their names on there, and the kids walk out, thinking they're Babe Ruth or Aaron Judge or whoever is popular these days. But definitely a cool thing to do. Game announcers in the older levels. Our scoreboards are now remote. It runs off an app, so you can sit in the stands with your friends and everything else like that. If you don't want to announce the game from the top of Weston or Tyrus, you don't have to. But definitely a really fun event. And lastly, we're going to ask our AL parents. Someone can take on the role extra, but our Reckling Park coordinator. So because we're doing this day at Rice Stadium, we want the headshots, right? We want them to walk up and see their faces on the Megatron screen and get the walk-up music and some fun stats about their life and that kind of stuff. So we'll be kind of coordinating with the AL parents on how we're going to get that done. But again, step up. Your coaches should have sent out emails or asking for you guys to volunteer. Again, we can't give you guys the jerseys until we have those filled out. Most of them are pretty simple. If your coach doesn't know where to get something done, your league rep will. All of our leagues have a dedicated rep. So we'll help you out to make this role as easy as possible. I know you guys are busy. I know you give a lot to a lot of areas, a lot of your lives to a lot of things. But if you could help us out and sign up and hey, sign up tonight, make it easy. That way, no holdups. We get this stuff going. All right, there's 167 of you watching. So we're gonna get to probably the most important thing I'm going to say, which I probably should have said earlier, but hey, here we are. The Parent Code of Conduct. We have a code of conduct. It's on our website. It's really important. I'm not going to go through it all right now, but essentially it boils down into this. Be a good citizen. Don't be a jerk. Behave in a way that you want to be remembered. I'm going to tell you guys, I've made mistakes before on the baseball field or being around the baseball field. I've said things and done other things, and things happen. But really, 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 as you come to the ballpark, this is about the kids. It's about the kids having fun. Yeah, we want to be competitive and we want to win and we want to try and we want to hustle. And we want to do all those things. But I'm going to guarantee every single person on this call something. Our coaches are going to make mistakes. Our kids are going to make errors. Our umpires are going to blow calls. It's 100% going to happen. Your board is going to make mistakes. It's just kind of part of how we do this. We're all trying our best. We have a really great group of umpires. They're trying their best. It's going to happen. My ask is take a deep breath, right? If your kid's having a bad day and doesn't want to go play baseball, that's okay. Let's take a moment, take a minute, whatever else. Just be respectful of the parents around you, the coaches, the umpires, the people. Again, just the single thing you say can be how you're remembered. Consider that. And that's something I have to look at myself as well. And I'll say this, parents, something I learned a few years ago. My story is we were out of umpires. There was a game in National League, and the umpires, we kind of ran short. No one could do it. And so a board member needed to step up. I happened to be in town and I volunteered to do it. And so obviously didn't put on the gear, but I stood behind the pitcher. And I will never forget one thing. I stood right behind that pitcher the entire game, and I heard every single thing that was said in what is now Weston Field. I heard the parents call me an idiot. I heard the parents say I had no clue what I'm doing. I heard a guy who was standing in basically right field explain to me that I couldn't see where the strike zone was. And I'm going to tell you, I wasn't perfect, but your young men and women on that baseball field, they can hear almost every single thing you say. The umpires can hear what you say. The coaches can hear what you say. So just encouraging you guys to be very, 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 very careful about what you say when you say. Be positive, be supportive, be passionate. We want all of those things. But take a look at the parent code of conduct. We want to hold you guys to that. It's not bad. It's nothing crazy. You guys all do it in your daily lives. But just know that as we're kind of out there, we're watching, we're looking, we want to make sure this is an amazing experience for everyone. Basically moral of the story, be a good citizen here in BLL Little League and everything's going to be great. And we appreciate you guys. We understand the competitive fire that a lot of people have, that almost all of us have. But just obviously within the spirit of community and supporting the young men and women, that's how we want you guys to cheer and to take those things on. So, all right, we're almost there, guys. Last thing, I got to pitch it. If you want to look amazing and wear your stuff to work, you want to look great, you want to have the B, you want to be supportive in the community. Years ago, we used to buy all this gear and try to sell it. We didn't know your sizes. We didn't know what was cool. I still don't know what the cool sayings are with kids. I have no clue what bussin' means or IRL, but my kids use it all the time. But we started this Shop BLL site. You go on there, you pick what you want. We've got like 900 designs. We can always add new things, but we get a percentage. It's made for you. It's name brands like Nike and Under Armour. We kind of control what goes on there. So if you want anything for your kids, your loved ones. I'm not sure if Valentine's Day, red, a very appropriate time to get out there. But when you buy this stuff, you can go out there, you can wear it to the field. It supports the league, and you're going to look amazing. There is a very lovely puffer jacket out there that I believe is $300. We've seen one instance of that being purchased. And I have to say on the individual that's wearing it, it looks amazing. It looks at least $500-600 worth of value. So get out there if you can, support the league. You're going to look amazing in your gear and we really appreciate it. Guys, that's it. We're at the top of the hour. I got one more thing. Let's play some baseball. We're so excited that you guys are in this league. We're always trying to make it better. We're always trying to improve what we're doing. And we're doing that to not only build a better baseball product, but to build our sense of community, to have fun, to get to know you guys. Mark your calendars for those big events. Get to opening day. Opening day is going to be lights out. I want to see 2,000-3,000 people. Call your neighbors, call your friends, do the whole thing. We're going to have an absolute phenomenal time. I'm excited about the season. Again, I'm Sam Dagley. I get to be our league president. If you need anything, my email is president@bellillittleleague.org. Please feel free to shoot me an email. I think people can say I respond to them pretty well. But we're excited about this and excited that you guys are a part of our league. So with that, I don't think we got any questions. I'm not seeing any here. If you guys have any, shoot them to me, shoot them to anyone that's wearing a black hat on the board. But let's have a great season. I will see you guys out there and have a wonderful evening and a great 2023 spring season. Thanks, Bel Air.